This is Donnie Lee Clark from Pure Prairie League, two single moms.
Exactly why we're here. This is Mike Reilly of Pure Prairie League. This is Mike Reilly of Pure Prairie League. And here's the story about what makes this night so great. When I was, 10? Was it 10? My mom took me to a Pure Prairie League concert. It's hard to say that without going peep, peep, peep. To a Pure Prairie League concert in Gainesville, Georgia, all these years ago. I was 10 years old, 1980, and I wanted to meet Vince Gill, who was then singing for the band. I wanted to meet him, so I had my mom.
What am I, Chuck Littler?
I was 10. I was 10.
And he had long hair, and she loved it.
So she took me out back to wait, like we used to do with the wrestlers
At the Georgia Mountain
at the
Center.
Georgia Mountain Center. And she said, Michelle, this isn't going to happen. Musicians don't come out like this. We're wasting our time. And I begged, and I probably threw a little 10-year-old fit or something. And my mom was talking to this guy in the parking lot down by the bus. And I guess, he was like, why is she pitching a fit, or what does she want? And she said, she wants to meet the lead singer. And I told her this can't happen. And this guy took my mom by the hand and me and said, well, why didn't you say so? Come on. And took us backstage at Georgia Mountain Center. And we got autographs with everyone. And then they let us sit on their bus until like 3 in the morning when they were loading up, until they finished loading.
I promise we was gentlemen.
Yes.
I sat in Vince Gill's lap, and that's okay to say because I was 10. Or I think it is. I sat in Vince Gill's lap the whole time we were sitting on the bus, and these guys promised me the next time we're in Atlanta, we're gonna get you tickets and backstage passes, and you can come see us. And then I remember being in Big G or Rose's Cafe and looking through the records and finding out that they broke up, I thought. And Vince Gill was now country, and my heart was broken. I was like, this is never gonna happen, never. But guess what? This is Mike Reilly. He is the guy who took my mom by the hand and led us backstage. And here he is with us tonight on Two Single Moms.
36 years later?
36 years later. So, I'm getting a little teary. So, that is why this is such a special
Interview.
occasion. So, how have you been for the last 30?
Well, we've been busy. We never really broke up. We took a little time off in the 90s to raise our families, but, we've been going on. This is our 47th year.
Wow.
Wow.
You have grown children,
Impressive.
right?
Oh, yeah, my boys are grown. They're 21 and 25, 22 and 26
Wow.
now. Jeez.
And you traveled from New York? Is that correct?
Yeah, well, I live in New York,
Okay.
out on the east end of New York, in what the magazine's called the Hamptons.
Oh. Do you know Scott Disick?
I beg your pardon?
You Scott Disick?
No. Should I?
Well, he's one of those Kardashians. So.
Well, no, I see them running around, Southampton and
Really?
Sag Harbor and East Hampton, yeah. But, with their little entourages, hangers and stuff
We'd
like
like to make fun of them.
that. That's okay.
Who inspired you to get into all this and to keep doing it all these years? That's a long time.
Well, once we got started, we sort of couldn't stop because we knew we were on to something. But actually, the reason I grew up listening to music in the 50s and 60s, but the person that inspired me most to start playing was Lonnie Mack. He was a blues guitar player from Indiana. And he was playing at a nightclub in Newport, Kentucky.
Wow.
I was 14. I snuck in because I was big for my age.
You snuck in,
And I heard Lonnie playing and singing, and Lonnie just passed away a couple months ago.
Oh, wow.
But boy, it floored me. So I went out to Sears. I bought a Silvertone bass, taught myself how to play, got some guys from grade school and high school, and said, let's put a band together.
Wow. And there you went.
That's it.
And was Pure Prairie League your first band?
No.
Okay.
I joined Pure Prairie League in '72. I started playing in '64. I was playing with a bunch of other bands. I played with a group called the Lemon Pipers. Had a couple of hits out down here in the late '60s. Then I moved to Woodstock after the festival. Played with bands up there, and then we went to England for a year, and the band I was playing with was David Bowie's opening act on
Oh,
the
wow.
Ziggy Stardust tour.
Yeah.
And then when I got back in May of '72, the drummer and piano player for Pure Prairie League, who I'd played with since I was a kid, said, "We need a bass player, come on up." And that was it. Our first gig was on Labor Day of '72, and
Wow.
for like 300,000 people. One of those festival things, Woodstock.
Wow. How cool is that?
And it's just gone on since then. We've taken breaks here and there, but I think that by this time we're just so damn old, we're too dumb to know when to quit.
That's pretty awesome. I have a question. After all those years, you've got to have a good story here. Have you ever had like a stalker or groupie experience that was kind of
None that
interesting that you can talk about?
None that I can put in the book. Well, I don't know. We've had angry boyfriends that wanted to mash us up, but and there's always people that I don't know if I guess they call them groupies, but
Right.
they were just enthusiastic fans.
That's right. That's right.
That were more than willing to lose articles of clothing at the drop of a hat.
Right.
But the thing is, none of us ever wore hats. So
Okay. Have you ever heard of Tim Watson?
yeah.
You know who that is? We were on a Kid Rock cruise with him in March.
Donnie was playing on that cruise. Our guitar player. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Well, we're gonna have to go introduce ourselves.
Yep.
Play then.
And I had a conversation with Kid Rock. I had started a GoFundMe page. I don't, you know about
Sure,
that, the
sure,
Kanye
sure.
one? Okay, I started that. And so I had a nice conversation with Kid Rock about that. And as we walked away and I was like melting, Tim Watson was playing. And he was playing Amy. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I told her, she said she said she had heard the story,
Right,
several
when she
times
met you.
when we were young, because we've known each other since third grade.
Wow.
We can finish
Yeah.
each other's sentences. But she'd heard the story, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's Amy.
Shows, so.
Yeah.
It's amazing that people will still do that.
And I was like, this is
Counting
fun.
Yeah, everybody on the boat was singing it.
It was awesome. And I thought that was so cool, and it made me think back to my little, escapade in 1980 when, and I thought, that's such good memories. And we came home from the cruise, and we started looking for you.
Cool.
And then you were right here 30 minutes from our home, so it
See
was
ya.
perfect.
So it worked out. Is Amy your favorite song to play live, or do you have another one?
Well, it's the crowd's favorite song for us to play live. We like everything we do. I mean, tonight, we'll be, we've only got a short time to play, so we're going to play 2 new songs
Oh, great.
Oh,
out
wow.
of those
Excited
10
for
or
that.
12 that we do, just because we just keep, we keep
Right.
moving on,
Right.
And, Amy's always a great crowd-pleasing song that everybody sings, and that's a great thrill to hear thousands of people singing along, to your
Right.
song.
Of course.
I don't get so thrilled anymore, like at the Kroger store, at Kmart, or the elevators in the hotel. But everything we do is our favorite.
Yeah.
Out of all the songs that we've recorded, it's hard to pick individual favorites. I've got a few that I really like, but it's just I love everything we do, and I'm proud of everything we've done over
Yeah.
the years.
I love Two Lane Highway. And I was probably the only 10-year-old that owned Fired Up.
There you go.
I mean, it was, and I remember in elementary school, I used to talk about you guys all the time, and my girlfriend thought I was saying Purple Earring instead of Pure Prairie League, because I said it so fast, and I still have a problem saying the whole thing together, Pure Prairie League.
Actually, somebody named a baseball league after us in Oklahoma.
Oh, wow.
Or maybe it was Nebraska or Kansas, somewhere in the Midwest, but, we want to call this the Pure Prairie League. Do you guys have any objections? I said, no, as long as we get baseball jerseys.
Yeah.
Get something out of it, right?
So,
All right, well, we're going to not keep you much longer because I know you've got stuff to do.
well, there's a lot to catch up on after 36
Absolutely.
years.
Yes.
I want to ask you our 3 kind of signature questions when we kind of conclude these things. And the first one is, do you watch Walking Dead?
I do, yes.
Oh, yes. Well, we live where they film.
Oh, cool.
And part of our show is following what they do. And
Finding filming locations and getting into the actors and stuff.
Fun. Yeah, my wife hates that. She goes in and watches, what are they called? Fierce Housewives of
Fierce.
something or other.
Is that it, Fierce or?
Whatever they are, yeah. Well,
They are.
Whenever I walk in the bedroom and she's got the TV on, she's watching this. It's just a bunch of women catfighting, and it's like, how can you listen to
With plastic surgery.
that? Yeah, no shortage of that going on either, is there?
We just night before last we had a little interview with Greg Nicotero, who does the.
Watching
Next
two single moms.
they want to do.
Do you know what Supernatural is, or the TV show? Do you watch that?
Well, I watch it because it's all reruns and
Yeah.
stuff like that now. Every once in a while, I'll turn on the channel 36 and 37 in New York and watch it. But now I've gotten away a lot from TV.
Right.
There's a few things that I'll do on the DVR, and then catch them
Right.
up later.
Right,
If I've
that's
got
what
some
we do.
time to myself, or I'm just lazy or not, feeling like doing anything, I'll turn on the DVR and try to watch a couple of those shows that I haven't seen, because then I can skip through the commercials.
Right, that's the best way to watch it.
We're spoiled to that too.
They're still going in their 11th season. They just had the finale for the 11th season.
Cool.
We're huge fans, and that's one of the things we follow. So we always try to see what the audience is for that kind of thing. And third, but not last, do you listen to Kid Rock? Oh God, the loaded question.
Well, I've heard a lot of his stuff. So there you go.
Kid Rock's the one with the long hair.
Yeah.
Ted Nugent's friend.
Yeah. I don't listen to a lot of contemporary music.
Right.
Only because I don't, I think it's, well, we won't get into that, but I just think it's a little derivative and not very creative and stuff
Right.
like that. From what I understand, though, Kid does a lot of philanthropic stuff. And,
He's awesome,
Yes, he
yeah.
does.
and which I totally respect and admire, and he's obviously made a great success, and he hasn't limited himself to one thing.
Right.
Right.
So
There's a good variety for
when
everybody.
Kid Rock sings country, it's like, wow.
He can do
Yes.
anything. It's
Yeah.
like he can cover country, hip hop,
Yeah.
rock.
So,
I mean,
and that's good for him. That's what an artist should be doing, is being able to do a lot of stuff and not just be a one-trick pony.
that's right. There you go. I am so thankful and grateful
It's
that
a
you
real
guys.
pleasure. It's so
Thank
nice
you
to
so
see you
much.
again
Thank
after all
you
these
so
years,
much.
and nice to meet you.
Do I look the same?
You don't look 10 anymore. But when I see Vince, I'll tell him that I ran into you guys. and
That's so
stuff
cool.
like
I mean, I know it's been a long time, but it's something that really stuck out in my head and kind of
First
formed
celebrity meeting and
my whole life.
Well,
I mean,
that's a pretty cool thing. I mean, that's how these things get started, and that's how people fall in love with certain ideas and things.
That's right.
And that's to become a person that is into music and starting out at that age. That's terrific.
well, I owe that to my mom.
So when we play the Opry next
Yes.
month or whatever, Vince usually hosts when we play, and he comes out and plays with us.
Oh,
So
cool.
I'll tell him to. I'll tell him to.
You said at the Opry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we played
We're not
Opry
above
several
going to
times a
Nashville.
year. Well, there you go. Just look on the Grand Ole Opry schedule. And you
Tim's
see
there,
us.
and we were there
Yes,
just a few months ago.
Yeah.
we messaged Tim about our interview, but we didn't hear back from
Well, it's
him.
Tim
But
that got our
he
guitar
inspired-
player on that cruise to play.
He's the
Don,
one who
yeah.
inspired
You
us
should go
to
on the
seek
cruise.
you out and look for this interview. So
Great.
thank
Good.
him if you see him.
We will for sure. I know Donnie talks to him often. So.
Cool. All
So
right.
great. Thank you. It's
Thank
a wrap.
Thank you so much.
And we're gonna go check out the surroundings and see you guys later.
See you at the show.